moves to go. Logan, thanks for the rose. There we go. And we're off. If you guys have any questions, just speak up or type it in the chat so we can get moving with it. Right now we are at the upper Bollinger Band, so I personally, when I'm trading, I like to see a pullback away from that, at least down to the 9, but I have nothing to go off of on a smaller time frame. You'd have to scroll out to a bigger time frame to try to find anything to trade off of. And those of you who follow me know that I'm a high probability trader, so I'm going to wait for some solid reason to enter a trade. So right now at the top on here, I'm not going to enter anything. We will skip ahead if it doesn't pull back here shortly. What is going on? Hey, we got some people in here. A couple people from the Discord. Yep, we're just pushing that upper Bollinger Band. Let me speed it up a little bit until it gets to a point that we can do something. So we'll do ×2, we'll do ×5. So it's moving 5 seconds instead of 1 second at a time. We're market replaying. I picked a random day, January 5th, and we're just going to roll with it. I hear somebody trying to get their mic right. Is that micing? You guys are really shy. Can you draw the lines? Yeah, whenever we get a line to draw. Right now, we don't really have anything. We're starting off as if it's a fresh day. So we're starting at 9:30. We're doing 5 times speed right now. Looks like we're coming down to test that 9-day, which is what we were waiting for. And then we got to get 2 5-minute closes and go from there. Yep. Don't get impatient. Wait for the good setups. That's really the main thing. If you want to be, if you go look at the last couple videos I posted, I mean, I have 120. I have 130 wins and 29 losses on the month. 80.5% on the month. You get that from waiting for good setups instead of just entering in the middle. That was a solid bounce off of it, and we closed above it. That's good. So now we're looking for our confirmation candle. We need another candle to close above. It should only take a little over a minute since we're doing 5. This is 5-minute candles, and we're doing 5 times faster. So we are going to start looking for some things, some lines, some key levels, things like that. All right, we're going into the third. This would be the 3rd minute right here. We start picking our direction. On the 3rd minute of a 5-minute candle. Wick below, but we're not holding below yet, so that's a good sign. I trade both, but I'm teaching futures right now, Jeff. All right, we are coming up on, this is the last minute before this candle closes, and I'm going to slow it down so we can see what's going on. There we go. Now we're at real-time speed. We get a close in 25 seconds. Dad, I'm going to. Sweet. Ten seconds. If we get a close here, we're going to have to wait for more confirmation, unfortunately, because we're in between 2 EMAs. Yeah, we close below. Some things to start taking note of here is the upper Bollinger Band and the lower are kind of pointing in a 45-degree up. So at the moment, everything's pointing up except for the 9-day. It's indicating more. The white line down here is VWAP. It's the 50-day EMA, the 21-day, the 9-day, the upper and lower Bollinger Bands. The only thing I haven't plugged into the chart yet, which I should, is the pivots. I didn't add the pivots in yet. This is a 5-minute chart. I traded 5-minute chart, and I used the 15-minute, the 1 hour, and a 133 tick to look at good entries, good points for entries. Smoothie took off on me. What? Dude. Alright, I need to speed it back up now for just a minute. We're back at 5 times. We're going to be in the 3rd minute in about 3, 2, 1, and we should pick a direction. If it doesn't go up, oh, it is going up. That's good. All right, so we have we're back above here. We're looking at a close above, and then we'll get a confirmation candle, and that will officially be our long if we get that. Oh, Smoothie's trying to get back in here. Yellow.
I didn't leave. It's just dragged.
Yeah, I gotcha. Said you're driving?
No, it dropped me.
Oh. Huh. That's strange. Alright, so we're about to get another 5-minute close. We need 2 above. Can you short or long off the Bollinger Bands? You can. You absolutely can. If you're going to play the Bollinger Bands, it depends on how you come up to the Bollinger Band. So obviously, over here, this was the open. When you're shooting up on the open, I would never try to bounce the Bollinger Band on the open. Because you see what happened here. It closed above the Bollinger Band, and it wicks up like crazy. That would have hit your stop out almost immediately. However, if you crawl up to the Bollinger Band, look how well it's respected. You almost never, unless you have a breakout, you almost never have 2 5-minute candles close above the Bollinger. So we had one here, and then a red candle. We came up, touch, down, touch, down, touch, touch. We're not getting closes, but if you go and scroll back, look at it. Closed on, down, down. One above. It looked like it was going to be a breakout. You could have took a long if you had stopped the way that I trade. You would have won on that one. But look, these Bollinger Bands, they absolutely are good spots to pay attention to. And you got to watch how they form. Like, we're pointing up and pointing up. It's opening up more room to the upside than the downside. Yeah, you're right. We didn't have this third touch, though, in the beginning, is why we didn't draw that line. Let me go grab us a line here. You could have did something similar to this right here. I just gotta adjust it. And these don't have to be perfect. Don't try to overthink these right here. People try to overthink them, and then they just don't get the stuff right. Somewhere in there, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but basically you got the bottom of the candle here, top of the candle, and you just touched up here. So, but we didn't have, I like 3 touches. You could technically call this a 3 touch, but I like to get away from it more. That's your 3rd touch right there. So you could have shorted on that based on that and the upper Bollinger Band. And that would have been a pretty good play there. We have a close above the 9-day. I want to see the second candle close above, and that would be a long for me. All right, welcome in, guys. Welcome in. If you have any questions or if you want to get in here and talk, just let me know. It's kind of open mic. I can have 6 people in here, so if the guys who are in here don't want to talk, you can leave anytime. It's not a big deal. I just want to have people who want to talk in here. I appreciate you trying to help me figure it out, though. What do we got? We have a little over a minute. If we get the second close, we will be taking along here. Unless it's a doji. If it's a doji, we're not going to take that long. Oh, look, he said it. You're learning, Logan. You were listening this morning or last night. Proud of you, dude. I'll give my space to someone else who wants to talk. I'm here, just listen. Sweet. Sounds good, dude. Sounds good. All right, so that was kind of a doji. We're not going to take that. It's not as high of a probability trade now. We're waiting for 2 confirmation candles. No matter where they come at, they're either going to be over a key level, over a pivot, one of the EMA crosses, or one of our trend line crosses. We have to have 2 confirmation candles, and you have to be patient for that, but you're going to win 90% of the time if you wait for it. Still the long, that's great. People who watch me, they know that I don't normally take the bigger trades. 70, 100 point trades. I normally take the 10s, 15s, 20s, but I'll hit 15, 20 of them in a row most days, and I do it on live, so I mean, it's all verifiable. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trolling. Hey, you know what, man? Fake it till you make it. That's what they say, right? See, it is still a second close, so the long would have been like a little bit better than 50%, but we didn't take it because it wasn't, it wasn't a very solid, oh yeah, these guys want to go long here. Can you explain where you put your pivot points? You don't put the pivot points, they're automatic. So let me go and add those in here now. So there they are. I forgot to add them earlier. Come in here, style. I like mine to be kind of a pinkish color. So you just come in here and change all this. And you do want all of these because every pivot, just about every pivot will be respected more than any other trend line that you have. Bam. So now we have a pivot up here too, see? Now we have 3 points of confluence. Where we're at in this structure, we have the upper Bollinger Band, we have this trend line, and we have a pivot there. So that's something you want to pay attention to as we come up to it. Being so close to a pivot, we're about 40 points from a pivot. We're very likely to go touch it. Pivots, if you don't have anything else on your chart, you need to have pivots. I'll just tell you that. Pivots are respected more than any other indicator that you can put on your chart. It's not the same 8 people in here. I think they still are messing with us on the approval process. They really are. Yep. Yeah, Rod preaches about it every day, and Rod makes a lot of money every day off them pivots. All right, so we could go draw a bottom channel as well if we wanted to here while we're waiting. Somewhere across these bottoms of the candles. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let me scroll out and see. No, there's nothing down there. So let's go with this. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So we're drawing across the bottoms, and we caught a wick here. Now we know we're in this channel. You don't take nothing in the middle. If you're going to trade, you're either going to trade off the bottom with a stop below, off the top with a stop below, above, or you're going to wait for 2 5-minute candle closes below or above. And the reason is, if you look at these trend lines, we're not getting that. As soon as you get that, it's a change of structure. And then you'll start drawing your lines in the opposite direction, just like I was showing you all last night. It's a lot of very hands-on stuff. And you're constantly updating your lines. Smoothie, you can chime in anytime. You're the charting guru over here.
Yeah. Just keep drawing them.
Just keep drawing them, right?
That's how you get better. Marker will tell you if they're good or not.
It's better to touch the candle bodies, but if like in the middle all you get is a wick, that's fine because the wicks do get respected as well, but a candle body is more solid. But the thing is, people try to make it so perfect. Don't worry about it. This candle's a little bit lower, or this one's a little bit higher. It's still respected the zone overall. If you're looking on a bigger time frame, like right here, people are like, oh, you missed the corner here. Oh, you missed the corner. Who cares? You can still see the overall structure, and that's the main thing. If we had drawn this line before we got to this wick here, we probably could have took a long here, and that's 40 that's almost a 30-point trade already. See, it's like say we're gonna take a trade, just I guess we could say just for shits, even though we're on TikTok. We have a green close, we come in here, we go buy, we're in the trade now. I have to learn how this platform works. I got this one just for market replay. Yeah, just for market replay. So I gotta learn how you come in here and you put all your stop and everything. But where would this? Oh, here we go. Is this the stop loss? So I put my stop loss just below the line here, and then I grab this PT. and I drag it up to the top of these candles over here because we know it already likes to hit that spot, and it's halfway between our channels, so we have a lot of reason to believe it will at least hit that. And then what we'll do is, as soon as we get about halfway to our PT, we'll grab our stop, drag it into the profit, and drop it there. That way, no matter what, we won't lose on the trade. And I'll do that just about every trade. I don't care if it hits me out 100 times. It's protecting your capital, and you need to learn to do that. So we are looking pretty. I'm still at 2 times. I didn't realize I was at 2 times speed right now, but that's okay. We can move a little faster instead of having to wait 10 years for all the plays to play out. Bless you. You're welcome. My kids are off for the weekend, and they're going to be off for Monday. All right, so look, we're almost halfway into profit. We're going to grab the stop loss here. We're going to, oh, can I even grab it? Yeah, I can. We're going to drag it up, and we're just going to follow it. That way, no matter what, we're not going to lose on this trade. And that was PT. There you go. So there's your first trade live. We drew these lines. Per the rules, we're trading above 5-minute close, 5-minute close. That's our confirmation. We entered the trade, and we got our PT on that. I don't know. So if you look down here, oh, we can't see it. It's covered. Okay, hold on. I have a, let me move this stuff. I need to move this down. Can y'all see that? The balance and stuff down there? I started with a $2,500 balance to mimic if you had a fresh prop firm account. We took 3 micros and we made $73 on that trade. My philosophy is mini accounts, $200 to $300 a day. I have 32 funded accounts. I don't get to all of them every day, but you see the point. If you have 5 accounts, it's 1,000 a day. 10 accounts, that's 2,000 a day, and so on and so forth. Every account that you have that you average 200 a day is 50,000 a year. So we're almost a third. We're over a third of the way to the goal at this point. So we're going to be looking for our next trade, and that's going to be probably off of the pivot up here. So we're going to have to wait till we get up to the pivot. Does everybody understand what we did on that first trade? Any questions? The market is not open. This is a market replay. I'm teaching some of the Discord members right now. We just took our first trade off of this channel and 2 5-minute confirmations, and we hit our PT. Now we're waiting for the next trade. And you can, on most platforms, you can click this and you can extend it out. Let's see if I can do that on here. Oh well, I'll just drag it. All right, and then we'll do the same thing here. Try not to mess it up too much when you're dragging. So we have the upper Bollinger Band here. We have the pivot, and we know the pivot is very vital. And we have this trend line that we have. You went in because you had confirmation above the 9-day, correct? You bounced, no, not the 9-day here, because you can play either a EMA trade, you can play a support, resistant, or pivot trade, which is a flat level, or you can play an EMA. On that one, we had this channel. We bounced off the channel pretty much perfectly. We had a 5-minute close above and a 5-minute close above. That's our 2 confirmations, which they both just happen to be above the 9-day. So that's more confluence, which means it's a higher probability than just one or the other. The other thing, like I said before, is you have that pivot up above. You also have to scroll out and look at your Bollinger Bands. They're both still pointing up, even the lower one. So we know we had a lot of confluence saying that we were more likely to go up than down. So that was a really solid trade to take. Also, our PT, we set it right here at the top of these candles because we already know that it's willing to go there. And that could be a spot that it goes to and it struggles, and it goes to and it struggles. As you can see, we struggled just a little bit above that. So if you were looking for the top of the channel, you might have missed that trade. You'd probably be getting stopped out right now, whereas it went straight to our PT. I like to think about where it's going to go, and then I'll be a little bit more modest on it. This is TradeZella for the. I use TradeZella for tracking all of my accounts. Like it can import all of my different prop firms, and it gives me my overall balance, my win rates, my weak points, all that stuff. Plus, I can do market replay like I'm doing right now. Once you touch the bottom of the zone line, you wait for two. That's exactly right. I'm always waiting for two confirmation candles. Logan, thanks for the roses, man. Appreciate it. Man, they're killing us with this ban. They're not letting new people see us, just the ones who are already here. And I didn't even do anything wrong. This is my exact setup that I've always got. They're saying unoriginal content. Yes, indeed. All right, so start to look at, you see your Bollinger Bands coming in. They're curving in. They're, instead of opening up, giving us more space to run, they're curving in. So we know that the upper range is still going to be somewhere below this unless it just rockets out or something. Yeah, Mike, and I don't know, man. It's the same thing we were going through last spring. I've had to approve every single day this week that I went live for appeal, and they approved it. And I tried to do it again today, and they didn't approve it. And it's like, this is exactly what I do every time. I don't understand why it's not approved this time. I did reach out to the agent to see if they could do anything. I need to go drop a follow actually over there because you let people know that you're on, like other people, and you support each other through the agency as well. Yeah, if anybody has any questions while we're waiting for another setup to happen. And then once again, we're starting with 2,500. If you look right down here, I don't know if the people who are in here are covering it or not, but we started with $2,500 balance. We're shooting for $200 or $300 a day. We're up 73 on that first trade. How do I share my live? There we go. Share button. See if that does anything at all. All right, so we've slowed down here. This is not good. We don't want to see our candles getting closed, but we do have to take into account we bounced in the 9-day. So instead of the bottom of the trend now, we're bouncing the 9-day. We did have a 5-minute close. We still have 4 more minutes for the second close. Yeah, we need to force them to get that stuff off, man. It's killing me. It's killing me. What is the string key? Trying to figure what do we got. 2.5 more minutes, guys. See if we get another green candle that's not a doji so we can take another trade. All right. We are in the last minute. The alpha code expires tomorrow. I don't think so, but I can check that for you. Biolonox may have expired last night. No, that's the current code. Nope, that is wrong. Biolonox is 45% right now. I think alpha's still good right now. How does prop firms work? So hold on one second because we're about to enter this trade right here. Yep, going long here. I'm going to come back and pull my stop loss down below this line. So you have to go below your candle here. Make sure your stop's below the line. We're going to drag the PT up. Let's see, where did we enter at? 86. So we'll put it at 96 because we had this wick here. So we know it's willing to go there just like before. I don't do a one-to-one stop. I do a stop based on the chart. There has to be a reason for the stop to be there. So if you just did a one-to-one, you're probably going to get stopped out. We don't want to be right below the 9 because we know we have this channel here, so we're going to be below the channel. If you're taking a trade above the 9, normally you go below the 21. So there has to be a reason for your stop, or you'll get stopped out for no reason. And once again, we'll be ready to drag it up when we get about halfway to our PT. And I'll answer your question here in a minute when we you bought a TBC? Oh yeah, I remember. You forgot to put my code in. That's all right, dude. Hopefully you pass it. I'm not one of these people that just want you to buy a million things with my code. I want you to pass it. But if you do have to buy an account, I do want you to use my code. It's the cheapest you can get it. You might as well use mine. So, but some of these people are out here and have all these discords and they want you to buy account after account after account. I want you to actually do good. But if you do buy them, obviously I want you to use my code. So
I had a force feed on them.
that's awesome, dude. Thanks for the shares, guys. Trying to get through this is going to be a nightmare, but we're going to keep battling. And you know what? I might say it's going to be hard if I only have 6 viewers tonight. You paid $360. You paid way too much, dude. TBT should be 102 right now. Unless you got a giant account. I only do the 50Ks. You must have got a bigger account. Yeah, you got 150K. Yeah. Every prop firm at this point, I just do the 50Ks, but I'm maxed out on Apex, Top Step, Bielinox, My Funded Futures, and My Funded Futures. And I just started with Alpha, Lucid, and Tradeify. I'm going to try to max those out in the next month. Been seeing your gains for a bit, and I'm happy that you found your live. Oh, yeah, man. It's been great. I was going live every day in the spring, and we were gaining so much traction, dude. I was gaining like 50, 60, 70 new followers every time I went live. And then we started developing a bot with a guy. So I took the summer off. I didn't want nobody stealing my stuff. Well, TikTok has been really punishing me for taking the time off. I'm really having to work really hard to get my numbers back up, and they keep making me appeal and appeal and appeal. Hopefully the agency can fix this for me again. That's how I got it fixed last time I got with an agent. You saw the bot and wonder what happened. Yeah. All right, so halfway is going to be about 91, about right here. So you're going to drag right in the profit. It doesn't matter if it hits you at this point. You're still going to make green. Don't put it at break even. There we go. That's PT again. That's 2 for 2, fellas. Boom. Not too bad for 45 minutes on a $2,500 account. We were up $130, 2 for 2, and we waited for those confirmations. That's all you got to do, man. This one was 2 above the 9, correct. The first one was 2 above the trend line, and this one was the 2 closes above the 9. See, if you just be patient, so what happens a lot of times is you get out of a trade, especially if you're new, you're, oh yeah, I'm hyped up, I'm going to get right back in. And when it comes down or something like that, you're like, yeah, I'm going to get right here because it's lower, or bounce the 9, and then you get stopped out. You wouldn't have here. You got lucky because we are going in an uptrend. Logan, you are learning, dude. You're asking all the right questions. You're saying all the right things. It makes me happy. We do have some people that have only been in there 2 weeks and they're already passing accounts, and that makes me super happy. Because I mean, I know people who traded for 2 years or more, and were hardly making any money. I don't want that. I'd rather a brand new person come in there because I don't have to unteach them anything. All right, so that's 2 for 2. We know our daily goal per account is 2 or 300. We are almost half of the 300, which is the higher side. So that's pretty good. I am recording this, by the way, so you guys in the Discord will be able to rewatch everything we're doing right now later. All right, so now we're going to have to wait for another setup. If anybody has any questions in the meantime, this is a great time to ask. Was messing with the trade bait all day, messing with the PT and the stop losses and setting up the EMAs. Was productive. Absolutely, dude. Did you see my video on setting up the EMAs? So here we have to be careful because we have that 9-day crossing below our trend line here. There might be a turnaround coming. So you have 2 things going on here. One, we got really close to this pivot. Normally when you get close to the pivot like that, you're going to touch it. At some point, it might not be right now, you're going to touch that pivot. The other thing to think about is that Bollinger Band is closing up on us. It's not opening up like we're going to blow through it. And then the other thing is our 9-day, our 21, and our 50 are all below our trend line now. So if we don't get some volume and some strength here, we're going to start turning around. And then we'll start looking for a trend line in the opposite direction. You'll start drawing 2 lines down this way, and it'll look like a zigzag. But that's how it goes most of the time. If we get 2 closes below, guess what we're going to do? We're going to short it. Heck yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. I don't even know if anybody's still alive on this TikTok anymore, or this. I don't see any comments from.
It says there's 7.
Oh, no. I'm talking about my agency. I'm sitting here looking. The last comment to anybody was like last month. But I haven't reached out to my agent in a long time. Never mind. They were saying hey to people last week. All right, so look with this candle body bounce. That's pretty nice. I'm not mad about it. I'd stay up all night long if they take this freaking I'd stay up till midnight, 2 o'clock if they take this ban off. Because I mean, we could have 30, 40, 50 people in here right now. No, if you have any questions, we are in a spot now. We could be in a chop zone if we don't break up here. You always have a run and a chop and a run and a chop, and you don't want to trade the chop. Right. How long ago was the? I think you get restricted for like 30 minutes the first time. I'm not sure on that though. Who knows?
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. They said unoriginal content, which is baloney. Baloney.
You're self-made. How's that possible?
China. All right, trying to see what we're doing here. The reason I thought this was going to turn around is, like I said before, that upper Bollinger Band isn't giving us any room to the upside.
Maybe take your shirt off.
Sure
That'd be original.
Yeah. Get double band. Yeah, they're both closing. The bottom and the top's closing. It's not giving us a big range, but we're also, if you look at the time, this is Central Standard Time. It's 10:30. We're rolling into that midday lull. At that lunchtime for the professionals. I really had high hopes of staying live like most of the night tonight, but I'll do another hour or two if they keep us blocked. Ding! Look at us bounce that 21. That was crazy. We might get another close even with that big wick there. Might get another green close here. And that'll be 2 green closes above the trend line and above the 9-day. That's 2. That's double confluence there. We have, oh, never mind. We're not going to get that. They got 3 seconds. So that's a no trade right there. We are officially in chop until we have 2 closes above. I'll draw me a line here just so you guys can see. This is official. So we want a horizontal line. We have a solid line here. We need 2 closes above this line to even think about a long. And then we also have to keep in mind up here. and we need 2 closes below this trend line, which I'm not counting this one. This one's more like on it since it cuts through the corner. We need 2 more candles below. But be patient. That's how we were in the first 2. Just be patient. I might need a new TikTok agent. You trade New York session primarily or Asia, London, New York. New York's a lot faster. You can come in there, you can make your daily money in like an hour. Sometimes even quicker than that. You come in there for a few minutes, but Asia will put you to sleep. I do trade Asia. You can trade Asia, but it really will mess with your mind if you really don't know the chart formations. Because what will happen is you'll take a small gain, a small gain, a small gain, and then all of a sudden it'll whip 50 points out of nowhere and you don't have a stop on it. And it just blows everything you made over the last hour or 2. We are just waiting. Whoa, that was nice. Like I said before, we got too close to that pivot. We are going to touch it. He should take my money. Yeah. I like buying the cheap accounts when they go on sale, like 16 or 19 bucks, buying a bunch of them, and then trying to pass them in Asia. It's slow, it's fun, it doesn't really matter. You know, you buy 10 of them, you pass 5 of them in the same night, whatever. 5, 7, depending on how good it is. JMS, what's up, buddy? Ain't seen you in a little while. Turned into a cartoon character over here. We closed just below, we wicked above the pivot, closed just below it. The upper Bollinger Band is opening up. It's looking like more up at this point. I appreciate you going to live, man, and the teaching. Yeah, man, no problem at all. And I will be posting this recording in the Discord, so you can rewatch any part of this. I will try to go through sometime tomorrow and timestamp some spots that I think each person should watch, and then we might even make some little short videos. The market's closed, JMS. What we're doing is market replaying. We're not really strategy testing. I just picked a random day. We are on January 5th, and we're trading it as if it's a brand new day, and we're charting. And normally I just ask somebody in the audience to pick a random day. That way they can't say I looked at it ahead of time or whatever. That's Logan. Logan trying to talk.
How did the Momo get defeated that fast?
Never mind. He said no. Yeah, we're see how we rejected that pivot. Make sure you put the pivots on your lines. Make sure you put them on there. You see, we're failing to get our second close above the pivot. Sometimes you gotta be patient. See, would you rather be patient, trade 3 hours, get 5 to 7 really solid winners, or do this back and forth, in and out, in and out? You trade 30 times and you only won, 20 out of 30 or 18 out of 30 or something like that. You might have been green, but you worked your butt off for it. You might have sweated a little bit if you went to red first. About you, Smoothie? You got any words of wisdom? You've been doing it for what, 2 years?
Yeah, pretty close.
I just hit my 15th year. I started in 2011.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting for this thing to break one way or the other.
The fees round trip add up in my life. Yeah, the live accounts. You get to a point where you don't even think about the fees, man, to be honest. I trade in a way to where the fees are just negligible. But I started trading in a day and age where
I got the free
a round trip on futures was $7, or on options was $7. That was before Robinhood came in and said, "Hey, we're going to offer people free options." That was back in the day where it cost you $7 to make a trade.
What?
You better like it.
Yeah. I used to DCA like 50 times. Ooh, yeah, don't do that.
Do you want to try these?
Yeah, if they don't unblock us, we'll just hit our daily goal, shut it down. I'll try it again in a couple hours. And I'll post a video. You can rewatch it if you want. We need another solid about 10, 12 point trade. Hopefully keep our 100% win rate and hit our daily goal. We get a close below the 9-day in the zone, and we were thinking about a short. Depends on what it does to 21. I mean, I can speed it up. We can see if we can. Look, I'll speed it up a little bit. We'll see what this candle does. There's a new candle right there. Oh no, we still got a minute.
Now it's like New York Open.
Keep speeding up, speeding up, speeding up. All right, 8 seconds. We'll get a new candle. Looks like we're going to be below the 21. Oh yeah, well, I'll have time to explain that in just a second. All right, so one thing I do want to pay attention to is remember this line up here. I said we had to close 2 above. We got 2 below. The only thing I'm worried about is how close these 9 and the 21 day are together, because we know when they cross, whatever way the 9 crosses, it normally shoots down towards. So in this particular case, we're not going to take that trade. If this one goes red, then we are going to take the short. So prop firms, they are not real accounts. So the way they make money and the way you make money goes like this. 1,000 people buy an account for an average of $50. That's $50,000 they made. Out of that 1,000, only 90 people are going to pass those accounts. Those 90 are going to pay 150 to activate the accounts. That's 15,000 more. So they brought in 65,000. Only 7 out of those 90 are going to get to a payout of an average of $1,500. So they're going to pay out $14,500, and they brought in 65,000. So that's how it's a fake account, but they can still pay you because only 7 out of 1,000 are actually reaching payout. Now, if you do too good for too long, they're not just going to keep paying you. They move you to an actual live account at that point. So that's how prop firms work. It's a really good business model because they give you a $50,000 account, which you can only lose $2,500 on, so you don't have a $50,000 account. But they want you to trade it like it's a $50,000 account, because then you blow and you keep buying more and more and more. I teach you to trade it like it's a $2,500 account. Then you make consistent money and you beat the odds. You become the 7 out of 1,000. A lot of people think they're scams. It's like, there's no way you make money on fake accounts. Well, yeah, you can, because they're bringing in that much money. They're also making 10% of all the money that the live account guys, they get to keep 10%. So, all right, where are we at? We're only 2 minutes in. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit again. Get us closer to the second candle close here. That's 2 minutes. Third minute. About to be the 4th minute. Right here. And we're going to get the candle close. Hopefully red. If it's red, I will take a small short. All right, we got 10 seconds. If it closes a doji, remember we're not taking that. Yeah, I do 3 well, I'm at the stage now. I'm maxed out on 5 prop firms, so I don't waste a lot of time on the evals anymore. But when I have a fresh funded, yeah, I start on 3 micros. Because I have so many accounts to get through in a day, it's just so much to try to do that and past markouts. So this is not what we wanted. We wanted a red candle. We wanted it to not be a doji. We're still in the indecision area here. See, this is where other people come in here and be like, "Oh man, I shorted from the top, and that's great, man." But there's no reason to tell you that this is going to pop off the top here without blowing through. It's like a 50-50. You're going to get your lunch ate right here. So those people might have a bigger gain on that trade, but their win rate is going to be extremely low. A new person like me, though, doing my email, yeah, 3 to 5 micros. A good rule of thumb is for every $500 of drawdown, no more than 1 micro. So if you have a fresh account with 2,500, you can use 5, preferably 3, gives you more chance. If you're in one of the prop firms that only uses 2,000, no more than 4. And it teaches you to scale. So when you get up to, $8,000, you're trading 8 micros. So instead of making $200 a day, you're making $400 a day, and then you get up to 20,000, then you're trading 2 minis, and so on and so forth. And it makes you consistently make more money, and it also gets your mind slowly used to the bigger numbers. Because you get to where when you first start, like I started on a cash account, you lose $100, you're like, oh my god, I lost $100. And after you win and lose $100 a few times, you're just used to it. It doesn't bother you anymore. Well, then when you jump up to 1,000, it starts bothering you again. You have to get used to it. So you need to progress mentally on that. Yeah, I think I need a new agent, man. Because, like I said, I don't see them responding to people very often. I need somebody who can get my stuff taken care of. That's the whole reason I joined them. Because they keep when you get coins and stuff, your agent gets a piece of the pie. They get the piece of the pie from TikTok side though, but still, they make money to be your agent. They're not doing it for free. All right, so one thing we need to pay attention to here is the 9-day crossing the 21. If the 9-day crosses the 21, and it just so happens to be right around the time we have 2 red closes, that is a solid trade. I will take short every single time if we're crossing to the bottom side. Now, whether that's 10 points, 20 points, 30 points, that depends on the day, how the market's moving, whatever. But you just need to get in, put your break even on as quickly as you can, and manage it. Because sometimes it'll just break out. Now, look at your Bollinger Bands also. The top one's flattening out, bottom was slightly curving down. That's starting to paint a different picture than earlier. It's starting to tell us, hey, we might be looking at some down. I appreciate the likes, guys. We're almost at 2,000. This is pretty good for 7 people being in here. Oh, Crusty Musty.
He was able to join?
He got robbed. He went to a bar with some friends, and he said his friends robbed him, took all his money, and I told him, well, it doesn't sound like you have very good friends. You know what I mean?
That 3. Mom, I made this whole chart 3 times.
I'm going to call it.
No, it ain't gonna do it.
I'm not going to be on much longer if they don't take this ban off because they're not letting people see me. Which sucks. But at least we got some training in. I do want to catch one more trade, make our daily goal.
3,000 likes.
See my son getting famous over there dancing?
I'm not.
They seen you. It's too late now. Journey said, I'm not. He don't get to play video games during the week, so when the weekend rolls around, he goes nuts with them. He said he's going to be a day trader like me when he gets older.
Get him set up over there.
This is looking a lot better for a short now. I really want that second candle. Let's speed it up and get it there. We'll go 10x for a second. That's 1 minute. 2 minutes. 3 minutes is when we pick our direction. Should be shoving down if we're going to go down. 4 minutes. And I'm going to stop it right before 5 minutes. 15 seconds.
I wouldn't mind it off the bottom of that consolidation.
No. We also hit the bottom Bollinger Band too, so in the process of that candle right there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So went up there and tested that, you know.
Yep. Unfortunately, I had to wait for 2 down candles or 1 more up candle to take a trade now, but let's speed her up again. That's the one cool thing about doing this is you can speed her up, you know what I mean? That's 1 minute. 2 minutes. There's your 3rd minute. There's 4. Got 9 seconds till the 5th. Till the new candle. Now we have to scroll out and see what our overall structure looks more like now. Another thing you could do, since we're not using this trend line anymore, drag it out and see what it looks like at that Bollinger Band. Look at the spot we're playing with. Touched here, touched here. That's what we're playing around with. Isn't that interesting? All right, we're going to speed it up one more time.
That calls for an Aiden dance.
Aiden dance, huh?
Yep.
You know how to do the greedy, bud? Do it. No, you don't want to do it now?
Yeah, because your brother can sign it.
Well, if you're good at doing it, what's it matter? We're about to have a 5th candle. 10 seconds.
Still, I don't want to do it.
This is not the highest probability trade here, but it still follows the rules, so we're going to take it. I'm entering the sell here. Where's my stop loss? My stop loss is coming back up to the 9. And my PT, let's see, we're in at 28. Let's shoot for a little bit bigger. Let's shoot. I like it to go to the 10 most of the time when it's dropping like this. So I'm going to shoot for 12, a little bit bigger. And then remember, we get about halfway there, which is going to be right at 20. We'll move our stop into break even. Thanks for doing this stuff. I got to get stuff done. I'll look for you later. Sounds good, dude. I'm going to shut it off, and then when my kids go to bed later, I'll try it again and see if they took the ban off or not. Because I really don't deserve it, which is kind of crazy. I like how easy the software makes your stop loss. Yeah, man. I wish all the prop firms did that. Like, did you notice that, Travis? When I enter a trade, I don't put a stop loss or anything. It just gives you a stop loss and a TP. You can just drag it wherever you want. All right, so look, there's the halfway mark. Look, every single trade, you will always see me do this. Don't just put it at break even. I'm putting it 2-3 points in the profit. So no matter what, you're going to be profit. Because what happens is if it wicks you out and you're at break even, you still pay those fees and it counts as a loss. And those losses will add up. So you just got hit out. But I still made 7 points. So we're at 174 on the day, 3 winners, and our daily goal is only $200 to $300. That's 3 winners in a row on this live. We made $174 in 1 hour and 11 minutes. And we didn't stress at all. We were never at any risk. We waited for high quality trades. You can't complain about that. TradeMate is my least favorite of the ones that I trade on, but I am getting used to it because Project X got pulled from Ulinox and Alpha, so now you have to use TradeMate. So there is that. Krusty's typing me a mountain long message. He's having some serious issues.
Not that.
Through charting. All right, so we need one more to hit our daily goal. So let's see what happens here. They could make minor tweaks. They could. The problem is they're being dominated by prop firms now, and prop firms don't want you to do good. They want the little things that you don't like in there. I mean, their whole business model is made off of you buying more accounts. We have the same people in here, so. Oh, I see Texas Time made it in. What's up, dude? I tried to get Krusty to come on here because he likes to talk. And Coop has the hives, I think, or something. I don't know. He said he had something going on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Boom, doom, 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 doom. Yeah, that's 3 for 3. And like I said, I will post this entire video on the Discord so you can go back and watch it and watch the trades, how we drew the lines, how we came to the conclusions, how we had all 3 of these trades. We had our confirmation candles before we entered, and that led to higher probabilities in us winning all 3 trades. So I will post all that, and then I will post the individual trades like it's 3 different snippets. I'm trying to grab one more, but we got to get this thing moving faster because the problem is if we were trading like in an actual day instead of a replay, we're in the midday lull where things really slow down. So that was another candle. It was a little weak. But you see earlier when I told you we don't get 2 candles, this one closed underneath, this one closed on. We normally don't get 2. That was a new candle there. So let's see if we get a second one. It's probably going to go all the way down to VWAP before we can even enter the way it's dropping. 2, 3 minutes. 4 minutes. And we're coming up. All right, we got 11 seconds. If this one closes, it depends on where you're at on the day. I'll rewatch and see your indicator setup. Sounds good, man. All right, so we did get a good close here. I don't like how we're on the lower Bollinger Band, but we have crossed the 21. We're about to cross the 50-day. So we're at 17. I will enter the short one more time. We will put our stop loss up here above the 50-day, put our TP down at... I just don't like trading before the 10, but we already bounced the 10 one time, so let's just shoot for like 10 points because that'll hit our goal. So about 6, 575, 6. And then we'll drag our stop if we need to. The stop is above the 50-day right now. That is a... It's funny, they tell me on the live all the time. Every time you say you don't necessarily like a trade, that's the ones that don't go well. But you have to know why you're entering the trade too, so. What minute are we on? Oh, that was a fresh minute. That was kind of dumb. I normally don't trade in the first minute also. I forgot to tell you guys that. I'm getting a little ahead of myself with the speeding up and slowing down because the first minute of a 5-minute candle almost always pushes the opposite direction first, like we just did there. And then see, we're in the second minute now. The second minute will either continue in that direction, then it's not a good trade, or it'll come back to almost where it was. And the third minute normally picks your direction and goes the way you want it. Like we're starting to now for 30 seconds from that. We were 30 seconds from the third minute, and the third minute normally picks your direction. If we continue to go in the same direction, we'll be golden. We'll make our money. Let me zoom in a little bit because this will probably be the last trade, make or break. It doesn't matter. Third minute in 8 seconds. There's the third minute. I am going to speed it up a little bit just so we can move along. Man, they're blowing up my phone right now too. It just wicked and mouse to 50, but it's looking strong. It could go either way right now.
You gonna do the rod here?
The rod. Oh, you want to double? Okay, so I'm not suggesting you do this right now or always, but what we normally do sometimes is like we get real close to our stop, you can double down and your stop. This one automatically doubles your stop, but you want to wait until you're real close to hitting your stop. That way, most of the pain's already gone. You double down, and then you don't need as much PT to make your money back. What happens is if it goes the wrong way, so we just doubled down on that. If it goes the wrong way, you're only losing like 20% more. But if it goes the right way, you make double pretty quick too. So what this is going to allow me to do, and we got to do this on the live yesterday twice, and it did work out. It doesn't work out. It works out less times than it does work, but when it does work, it really is nice. I don't like how that closed green, but hopefully the first minute, like we talked about, normally goes down.
Or the opposite way.
What happened? Yeah, after you know what I meant. You know what I meant. We need that 9-day to come down, cross the 50, and shove this thing down for us. There we go. Shove down,
Your
shove
ass
down,
down.
shove down. It wasn't hard enough. It bounced the lower 20s, and I was like, nope. But you know it does that. It'll go between 30 and the lower 20s until it picks a direction. You notice when it's coming up, it'll do 20, and it'll go back to 15, and it'll do like 22, 23, bounce 20, and it'll do 27, 28, and it'll bounce 23, and then it'll try 30. It's funny how it does that unless it's just super strong blowing through, you know what I mean? And it'll do that a lot, especially in the middays or the Asia or something like that, where it's slower. Right now, it's trying to decide if it's going to break the 20 or if it's going to break the 30. If it breaks the 20, we'll be good because I'll go ahead and drop that break even in there. Even if it hits me for 1 point, I don't care. So the one thing you got to realize too, if it doesn't go your way immediately, it wasn't a good trade. So it's better to take a small loss or nothing if it goes back to break even than to try to, oh, well, I'm back to break even. Let me try to get a profit out of it now and then let it go red again. Doesn't make sense to do that. See that? Now look, bam, we can't lose now. Now we dragged our stop down just like we talked about. And no matter what, it's either going to hit us for a point, which I'm going to drag it a little more now. It hit us for like 3-4 points. And look at that. Our daily goal is 200. We're at 198, and that was 4 wins. But I also want you guys to notice, remember, this is a really good spot here, what just happened. I didn't just put my stop at 10 points, even though my PT was 10 points. I put my stop above the 50-day, because when we entered, we were over here. The 50-day was here. And look what happened. We actually bounced the 50-day on that candle. And then we came back and we didn't hit it again. If I would have been at 10 points, 1-to-1, I would have stopped. You can't just put a random arbitrary stop just because you feel like it should be there. If you're in here and you don't want it back above 50, your stop needs to be above there. If we're trading, say we came below the 9 here and we're trading lower, our stop would be above the 21 unless we had some kind of key level there. So you always have to put your stop in a particular place on purpose. Now look, the 9-day just crossed the 50. If this candle closes red, well, it don't even have to close red. This is probably going to shove down. This will probably be a red candle. Yeah, look at it. It's already going down. When this 9-day crosses the 21 or the 50 in the opposite direction, it's normally at least a burst of a move or a strong move in that direction. That's a really good thing to watch. It's a really good indicator. We did the same thing when we crossed the 21 here. Look, bam, all that red, all that red, all that red. Now it's crossing the 50. And then what will happen after that? The 21 will cross the 50, and then all your EMAs have officially flipped, and now we're in a downtrend at that point. But let's just see. I'm not going to take the trade. Yeah, the 9 is crossing the 50 right now on the 5-minute.
And within the first minute, you kind of peaked. Would you kind of enter the trade there? So it's a peak?
No, I like the confirmation still, but I'm just saying it's something to pay attention to. Because even if you took the confirmation trade here, right? So look, it crossed there. That's 1 close, 2 closes, right? You would have entered this trade right here. You would have went not even 2 points in the red, and then it dropped all the way down to 15. So that would have been about a 15-point trade on that one. So see what I'm saying? There was 2 confirmations below. And here you go. That's why I wait for my confirmation. I have to have those confirmations or I don't take a trade. If you see me take a trade that I'm not getting confirmations on, I broke my rules, and sometimes it bites me. If you wait for those confirmations, there's no strategy in the world that wins 100% of the time, other than I'm going to buy and hold until I die. But you can win 80, 85, 90, 95% of the time if you're strict and you stick to the rules and your rules are good. The main thing is, one, really good entries. You need a good entry. You don't just enter now because I know it's going to go to this point at some point. No, I'm going to enter now because I believe it's going to bounce here. And I'm not going to give it a 30-point stop if it doesn't bounce here. I'm going to give it a 5-point stop because if it doesn't, then it's not doing what I want, and likely it's not going to go to the PT that I want. Another good thing to do is, like most days I can come in here, you just see me take 4 trades. The last one didn't go perfect, but we still made money on it because that's just the way I trade with my management. But you'll see me come in here and I'll get it and I'll get it and I'll get it and I'll get it. And you'll see me do it 5, 7, 9 days in a row. And then I'll have a day where I come in here and I lose the first 2 trades. I might be able to turn that day green. I almost guarantee you I could if I really wanted to, but it's not worth the work and my timing's off. So it's better for me and it's more likely that I'm going to lose more than win more that day because my timing's off. What I'm thinking, what the market's doing doesn't align with what I'm seeing. It's really good to recognize that quickly, walk away, come back the next day, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to make what you would have made that day plus some more if you just do that. What a lot of people do is they'll hit their loss goal $200-300 and like, well, maybe I'll try to make it back. No, if your rule is $300, you're done. You're walking away because that 300 can turn into 1,500 really fast. When would you start building your lines since you're kind of downhill? You could start now. You actually have a couple spots here that you could. I'll do that before I shut the lab off. So I like to start looking for where we first start to turn, which is right here. Let me get these lines. So you just scroll generic one in and you drag it where you need it. So that's kind of crappy. That's good enough. See, this one kind of broke through, but it didn't have a second close. But you have a corner touch here, corner touch there, wick, corner touch, wick, corner touch. That's a lot of confluence on the bottom. I'm happy with that. We can stick with that. There's no problem there. Let's go draw the top one. Like I said, don't. Some people get so caught up, man. Why can't I draw my lines and this, that, and that? Dude, don't overthink this. If you're off by a point here or there, it really doesn't make that big of a difference. So look at this here. We're technically out of touch here. We're also, and it just so happens to be confluence of what we're talking about here. The 9 days crossing the 50 right here too. So we have 2 different things saying that we're probably going to go down. Our upper Bollinger Band is still flat. Our lower Bollinger Band is pointing down, and we have the lower channel here, and we have VWAP below. So we have like 4 different things saying down, and we only have like 2 things saying up. We have more down than up. Your higher probability is down. You still want to make for the confirmation. So this candle here, if it closes red, would be a confirmation. I don't want it too far down though, because if my PT is going to be here, I don't want the candle to close here because then I'm only trying to get 3 points. I want it to close somewhere just below these over here, these wicks. I want a bigger candle body than these, but not too big where I can't take the trade. So we'll see how this last one here plays out, and then we'll call it from there. It's raining its butt off outside right now. I like to put a limit order on the 9 and take 10 to 15 points. Yeah. If you're going to bounce any of the EMAs without a confirmation, the 9 is the one you want to do. You just have to watch how it's going, okay? So we'll look for different temperaments here. Like right here, you could have bounced it here. How many points was that? You would have took about 6 points of pain, no problem. You would have made money on that one. You would have made money on that bounce. You'd have made money on that bounce. Depending on how tight your stop is, you might have got stopped out of that, but probably made money. This one here would have lost money for you. So once it starts, like say you lost 2 in a row, I would call it a day. I'm like, okay, I won 7, I lost 2, I'm done. Because look what happens here. We start getting real wide right here. We start wicking through more, so your stops start getting hit. We came down a touch, but no, we wick through. We came up a touch, and no, we got these big, massive wicks. This right here would tear a bunch of stop losses up right there. So you just got to look at it and say, okay, well, right now we're respecting that 9-day really well. Like right here, we're still not respecting it well, but some days it does. Like right here, you could have traded this one as well as long as you had a tight stop. What I like to do if I'm trading off the 9 is wait for a wick through and catch it on the way back up through the. If I'm trading solely on the 9-day, I like to wick through, catch it on the way back through with a 5-point stop behind it and a 10-point up there. And that one works out a lot because watch, bam, that one would have paid. Bam, that one would have paid. These right here might have stopped you out, but you didn't get a candle close below, so that's not the same trade. You didn't take that candle close below, took that one, bam, that one would have paid here. That one would have lost. That's the first one out of 6 that would have lost. Same thing here, come down below, bam, that one probably would have made money. Same thing here, close below, bam, that one would have made money. So it depends on the temperament, whether you're bouncing it or you're catching it all the way back through. But there's 2 ways to trade that 9 like that. But the 9 is very, very well respected. All right, so we're bouncing the 9, but we're on top of that trend line. So this is a chop zone. You can pretty much draw a line across the top, just like earlier. Grab us a horizontal line. Bam, we got a shelf right there. Just like this one up here. Got a solid shelf. This also creates a zone. Zone to zone trading. It's like, yeah, I kind of got a spot right there, like Smoothie likes to say.
Yep.
So you could do another one there because you got some bodies here, some bodies there. You got a top here, cut through the middle, a bottom there, bottom there, bottom there. There's another line there. Don't really like this one, so I'm going to skip that one. Well, you could do one there. 72. But I'm going to leave it off because that's not what we're doing in this video. Yeah, we're looking for 2 closes above or 2 closes below that blue trend line. So 2 closes above the white or 2 closes below the blue. And this candle does not count as above the blue or the white because it's on it. I will speed it up. Let me speed it up. Close. Underneath. Yo, look at that thing. If that wasn't a doji, you could count the second candle, but I'm not going to. It still would probably be a decent trade short if this one closed red. I bounced VWAP very quickly there. I'm going to go to one more candle here and see what happens. What time are we at right now? We are about noon. All right, let's see how this one closes. 4th minute here. You got 10 seconds. Ooh, out there with the bottoms, Bollinger Band pointing down. Yep, that's one thing to think about. That was another red close. The upper Bollinger Band is pointing down too. We're respecting this line here. We'd have to extend this one to assume we'd be coming to touch it. You could take this second candle close below here. I'm a little late to the show, but I'll take it just for shits. My PT is going to be the Bollinger Band. It's not going to be lower than the Bollinger Band. It's going to be the Bollinger Band. So however many points it is what it is. It looks like about 12 points, and then my stop is going to be up at the 9. We're going to zoom in a little bit so we can watch our play because now nothing else matters but our 2 lines. Halfway from 90 to 78 is 6 points, so about 84 will move to break even. Yeah, those are levels that we have previous support and resistance on, the white lines. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Getting ready to drag to break even. Needs to go down just a hair more. All right, we're in. We can't lose now. And we went to PT. There you go. 5 for 5. And we made $259. Our goal is $200 to $300. And we did it flawlessly, really. Wait for those confirmations, because you see right here, if we had not drawn this white line, right, if we did not draw that flat side, what would have happened? Some people would have said, oh, that's a green above and a red above. We're going long. No, we're not, because we have this flat shelf that's showing us that it does not want to go across that yet. So that's why you have to have the key levels, you have to have the trend lines, and you have to have the EMAs, because they all talk to each other. And then you have candle formations. I don't count dojis at all. So the ones we counted was this close and this close. And both of those not only were below the white line, they happened to be below the blue line. Another thing to pay attention to is the space between the 50-day and the 9-day increased, which is a good thing. And now our 21's crossing our 50, which I told you is going to completely convert the chart into a downtrend. So to reiterate, we'll go back and look at our trades here. I'll zoom in so you can see them.
And it hasn't shown really any strength at all.
Yeah. So on the 9-day here and above, we didn't have this white line earlier, so we just had the 9-day. And we had an upward trend line down here too. Remember that this blue line was up here. We had a close above and above the blue line. We entered the long, bam, that one paid, no problem. This next time we had a bounce off the 9, close above and above. We entered here, bam, we made that trade, no problem. We had a close up here above, didn't have a second one, no trade. All right. So we came down, we had this blue line. We didn't draw the blue line until the third touch, so we didn't have a blue line. But based on the EMAs, because we came through the 9, we were looking for another close below the 9, went below the 21. That's a no trade as well. And then we kind of messed around, waited for the 21 to cross, and then we came back up here. And that's where we decided to start drawing our downward lines. We didn't take another trade until we came off this upper line, 2 candles below. We shorted here. Bam, that one paid. And then it's hard to tell right here because it's so zoomed out. Oh, this one here is the one where we entered the trade short.
In a bad spot.
In a bad spot. And then we had a PT. It came back up, but we had to stop above the 50-day because that was where our spot was. 50-day. It didn't hit our stop. We doubled down last minute, moved into the break even, and we made PT on that one down here. And then this last trade here, we had a flat bar. We drew this bar based on this shelf, and we also had some other confluence over here. So we had to close 2 candles above the blue and the white in order to go up. We didn't get that, or we had to have 2 below, and we had 1, 2 below. We shorted, and I picked my PT at the Bollinger Band just in case it bounced the Bollinger Band, which is the safe bet. But because the 9-day was crossing down, making a bigger space, and the 21-day crossed the 50, we know it likes to surge, so we did get a little bit of a surge. So won a couple of points late and still hit the PT. Yeah, man. I mean, as long as you're looking at it. I mean, you guys just watched me in the last hour and a half take 5 trades, waited for confirmations, and we did not lose a single trade because we were patient, because we waited for confirmation. We didn't just take a trade because we wanted to be in a trade, and that's how you do it. Titans the GOAT, man. I appreciate that, man.